Hey everyone, happy Easter. And as we get ready in April and getting into spring, I hope you're enjoying life and things these days. I got a handful of updates to you. This time, there are no security professional development trainings this month, so you can hold tight on that until future updates. But everything I have today is just a bunch of new feature updates that I want us all to be aware of. There is one thing related to security, though. It's something we've talked about a bunch of times in the past, and you may already know this, but it's worth repeating. Google Chrome is the only browser that we in technology can and do support in terms of web browsing and using it to log in and access your curricular resources. As you might expect, we'll encourage you and often require you to use Google Chrome. And in the future, if you happen to have other browsers on your district issued machine, those will be inaccessible in the near future. So if you're not already in the habit of using Chrome for everything, please be in the habit of using Chrome for everything. All right, cool. So a couple of Google Docs updates that they have coming, either that is available to us right now, or they have announced as new features in our Google Suite coming very soon. And I'm pretty excited about some of these. So I want to share those with you, and let's dive right in. And so first thing is that in Google Docs, one of the new features they've just added, if we go to Insert and go to Building Blocks, they have this concept of inserting an email draft into a document. And what's great about this is that it puts an email template within your Google Doc. So as you are collaborating with other people and maybe working and crafting a communication, you can basically pre-fill in who it's going to, who you're copying or blind copying, the subject of it, writing an email message, and basically anything above this line is going to be the content of the email. And so it's great for using the built-in styling that Google Doc has, inserting images, doing your formatting as you see fit. And then when you're ready, you just simply hit this Gmail button. It automatically opens up a new email as a draft for you. You can review it just in case you need to tweak anything, send it off, and you're ready to go. Lots of potential in this as you are collaborating with other people to send communications out, or if you are using a repetitive message over and over again, craft it in a Google Doc, format it the way you want, come back here, just hit that email button, and it'll go off to the folks that you need to send it off to, and you can reuse it again and again. So great feature just from Insert, Building Blocks as an email draft. The next thing I want to talk about that they announced, it's not quite here yet, but it should be coming shortly, and it's a really often requested feature in Google Classroom, where right now we have the ability to post a announcement to multiple classes at the same time, and that's great. But one of the features that is coming that you can't do yet, but hopefully will be in the next couple of weeks here, is that you'll have the ability to actually schedule that multiple class posting out at a future time. So you can create an assignment, you pick the classes that you want it to go to, and then you can schedule the date and time for those to show up in those Google Classrooms. So this will be a great future planning piece, and so you can do your prep work ahead, assign it out on a schedule, and customize that for the different classes as you go. So look for that to be available in the next couple of weeks. The next new feature is with Google Calendar. I know some of you, especially around the parent teacher conference times, have used a feature in Google Calendar called appointment slots that allow you to take a day and time and kind of break it up into different slots and share a link out so people can sign up for appointments with you. And that works fairly well. What is problematic with that, though, is it does require the people signing up for those appointment slots to have a Google account, which, as we know, not everybody in the world does. And so it can close that option off for some folks. So within the next couple of weeks, Google is adding this calendar feature called Appointment Schedule. And so it's the same concept as appointment slots, except it allows you to customize the look and feel of that appointment page a little bit more. It creates this kind of nice booking page for you. You can fill in some details with descriptions and all that. Put in your available times and the various slots that you have. But this appointment schedule feature does not limit it to just Google users. It is available to anybody with an email. It can incorporate Google Meet conferencing, and auto fills in your calendar from there. So I see this as a great potential for parent-teacher conferences for sure going forward. But even just creating your own check-in calendar with your leadership team, or folks that you have underneath you, or that you're collaborating with, or just anytime you have availability that you want to fill in your calendar for, or give people a way to book you, this can be a great way to do it. Maybe don't have to use some third-party service to do that anymore. So look for this appointment schedule feature in our calendars coming out in a couple weeks. The last two things I want to talk about deal with the Remind tool. And I know a lot of us have used this as our main source of communication this year. It syncs with our classrooms from SchoolBrains, and all the contact information and language preferences and all that good stuff. It's a great tool for sure. A couple reminders for that is as you get your message going and you want to send it out, obviously, you can pick who it goes to in terms of which class or which people it can meet. But what I want us all to remember, that there is a translate option that is built into Remind. And so as you type in your message and put in the things that you want to do, look for this translate button if you have an audience that may require translation. That information syncs automatically from SchoolBrains, or users of Remind can pick their own preferred language as well. And so when you type a message and click that button, what you're presented with is the different recipients and the languages that it can translate into. And all you have to do is simply check the box to say, yes, please translate this message, and it'll send it out to the appropriate parties in their preferred language. Now that's great, because single button to click and switch it, and get us closer to communicating as best as we can. As you know, though, sometimes translations aren't 100% accurate. And so what they give us the ability to do is that after that you select that translation and make that a possibility here, you can click the edit button next to any of those translated options and actually customize the translation that goes out. So if you speak Spanish or Portuguese or one of these other languages and know that you need to correct a couple things as it goes out, you have the ability to do that before the message actually gets delivered. So definitely take advantage of that as you go through. And then the only other hint I'll give you, if you're not already using the mobile app, that can be a great way to take advantage of this translation feature in terms of both sending and receiving those messages, so that it can get out a little bit easier to those preferred languages. It's an option for sure, because you can certainly do it on the Remind website and handle it that way. But for those of us who prefer the mobile experience, that may be a great way to approach this. Okay, and actually one more thing just related to Remind, that if you haven't already heard about it, you can mention it to any of your school-based personnel, principal clerks, nurses, guidance counselors, etc. There's a new staff role that is available that many are auto provisioned for right now. So those folks that are used to needing to communicate with the entire building have that staff role in Remind now, so that when they log in, they have the ability to communicate to anybody in their community and in that organization. So they can take advantage of this tool as well. So if you're one of those people, try it out as a great way to communicate. If you have that role in your school, but not that role in Remind, just put in a support ticket and we'll be sure to help you out with that. All right, cool. So that is all for April. A bunch of new updates, things to try out, things to play with, some great features for sure as we continue this school year. I hope everyone's doing well and staying healthy and safe, and we shall see you soon. Take care.